after tapping this area of interest, this was area of interest for us. What the price now? The price has run to the downside. Is that okay? So what we're expecting is for price to simply reverse, touch these areas, and then drop. All right. So that's what I'm expecting for AUD CHF. I'm trying to see something. Give me a moment. Let to see. Okay, the price action there is because there's a tendency that when price gives something like this, when price gives something like this, most of the time it likes to come for this place right before dropping, and that is what this high is looking like. You can see this is like the left shoulder, this is like the head, and this is like the right shoulder. So most of the time, price likes to come for the right shoulder like this before dropping. So I want to put us on the right track. So if we're going to be taking this trade, let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. It's either, let me see, we take from here, or we are SL, we cover this whole place. That will be 21 pips. 21 pips SL. You are covering the entire high, and then you can just look to target this low. All right, so you can say 2R, but some people may want to come and enter the trade from this high. You can never know, and then that will be 11 pips SL. Well, they still target this area, but it's okay. But this is the fair value gap. This is where the fair value gap comes into the market. That's why it's nice to look to always trade from the fair value gap. Is that okay? So what would even be nicer on this trade is if price gives us something like this, price gives us something and gives us something like this, like a small, engineered liquidity before this trade, then definitely we're going to expect that big drop. Is that okay? So that's that for AUDCHF. We have been following it up since. If you want to do a rundown of the analysis again, started from the monthly time frame where we had a monthly sweep of liquidity. All right, let me show you. All right, sorry about that. So on the monthly, remember that we had a monthly sweep, had a monthly high sweep here that led to what? That led to a weekly expansion here. Is that okay? That is what gave birth to what? To this daily fair value gap that we're interested in. And then you can see the way price went to do what? Price went to take all of these areas. And you can see by point from here, look at the line chart. What do you see? You see that we had a change of character. So that's why I am very much looking for price to just trade back into this zone and then give us a sell-off from this zone. Okay. So that's the view for AUDCHF. Like I said, we are currently like having a build up to an NFP. There isn't very much in the market. So just if you have anything you're looking at, feel free to drop it on the group and then we'll look at it together. Okay. So this is Euro AUD. Let's go over this again. Euro AUD was like the same behavior with the other one, but like the opposite, right? After sweeping something like this on the monthly, what do you see on the weekly? Remember, I said that if we close above here on the weekly, we are going to be interested, right? And you can see whether as even if it's very small, so far as the candle closed above it like this, that means that there's a confirmed expansion in that area. So what did we try to do? We said that we're going to look to take a possible buy opportunity from here to here in the discounted areas, is it not? And now the discounted area now was the daily time frame fair value gap here. Let me delete the Fibonacci. The discounted area was the daily time frame fair value gap that you can see here. That is what gave birth to this one, to this leg that you are seeing here. So on the 4 hours time frame now, there is a possibility that price wants to do something like this. Since that fair value gap is still very much open, even up to this point where there is an order block here. So it may be that price is trying to induce liquidity, right? Maybe that price is trying to induce liquidity here. So since let me go to the lower time frame. Okay, maybe that price is trying to induce liquidity. So what will happen is when this low is taken here, when this low is taken, we can expect price to do what? To take the low and then start to buy. Is that okay? So at least we are still expecting. There's no call yet. There's no call for Euro AUD yet. Like I said, the fair value gap is still very much open, and there's also what an order block here. So there's possibility that price may want to sweep this low before it starts the move. Okay. So that's why I'm still sitting down on my hands. I'm still sitting on my hands waiting for it to fully develop for us, right? Because the way it just dropped into that zone and then giving us like a just dropped and then giving us something like this. So there's no clear information here, but at least we know that we have dropped into a point of interest of ours. All we need is for price to do what? To accumulate the orders properly, and then we can do what? We can join in on the position. Is that okay? So that's Euro AUD. So let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD is Euro USD is in very there's no candle information. We like to look at on the candlesticks. I've not had that kind of information on the candlestick, but what we saw here is that this place is looking like what? It's looking like a key level for Euro USD. All right. Why do I say so? I'll show you. We have here, we have here, we have here, and then it worked like a temporary support here before what? Before taking this low. All right, and then you can see there is all this imbalance here, and then price also swept this liquidity. So is there a chance? So is there a chance that Euro USD is going to sell from where it is? I wouldn't be surprised, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Euro USD looks to sell from where it is. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised because you can see we also took this high. We also took this high. And then before we started having the sell-off. So this is the last point of interest. We have to refine this guide to just the order block, just the fair value gap. Is like the point of interest that EU has touched inside. So now what are we looking for now? We're looking for 4 hours, 4 hours to do the same thing. So you see that what we can expect, look at the line chart now. If we can get 4 hours to flip, we can get 4 hours to flip, then this would be very nice for us. We can therefore ask to flip by coming to do what's coming to take this low. And when this low is taken, we can look for what? We can look for a retracement into this area before we sell off. Is that okay? So EU is currently inside a daily time frame. EU is inside a daily time frame fair value gap. What can we expect? We can expect 4 hours to align. Now, how will 4 hours align? Giving us what? A flip, right? Then when we get the flip, at least it should also reflect on the 1 hour time frame as a what? As a change of character and liquidity. And then we should expect a fair value gap. Then when we get that, we can look to sell. Is that okay? So that's my view for Euro USD. Like I said, if there's anything that you have looking at, feel free to drop it on the chat, and then we will go over it together. All right. And let's see NZD USD. All right, so NZD USD, we are coming from this fair value gap here, all right, on NZD USD, and then we did what? We go to the weekly time frame. We have been giving series of expansions to the downside. So what can we expect NZD USD to do now is for it to trade back into this region. This region is very interesting for us because not only does it serve as fair value gap, it's also serving as what? As a key level. Is that okay? It's not only serving as a fair value gap, it's also serving as a key level. Now, if you go to the daily time frame, you see that from here to here, drawing from here to here, we have a what? We have a very major area to look out to trade from here. All of these areas are points of interest for us on NZD USD. What do you see? NZD USD took this high, is it not? And then when it came down to do what? To take this low. So what does this mean? It means that that is a swing point, right? That is a swing point in the market from this high till this low. So what do we do when we have swing points like this? We measure the level of retracement, right? So now I see that from the 50% here, from the 50 to the 90 to the 80% here is our institutional area. And it's also coinciding with what? With a very huge fair value gap there. That's why we are interested to do what? For NZD USD to trade into this guy before what? Before we experience the drop. Is that okay? So let NZD USD trade into that zone, and then we're going to look to sell the market from there. Is that okay? So that's my lookout for NZD USD, and we just wait to see what the market has for us at that point in time. Is that okay? And then we have let me see, USD card. USD card. Okay. The USD card, remember that we're coming from this area of interest here. Remember USD card that we've been talking about it from when it was here, right? So price has started the move to the upside. Now, what do you see on the line chart? On the line chart, we just had a fresh new expansion on the weekly time frame, is it not? So what do we look for? We look for what? USD card to trade back into what? Into that area. This is a very key area. Let's look at the daily time frame now. Now, what do you see on the daily time frame? You see that price did what? Price had a little bit of a resistance here in this area before kicking off and leaving behind this fair value gap. So this is not a bad place for USD card to trade into. So if USD card can trade into this guy, and then we can look to do what? We can look to buy from there. I don't know if that's okay. So that's what we are having for USD card. Is a very simple thing. Like I said, we just have directions. We just have directional biases that I'm sharing. This was a key level. What do you see here? Price interacted with here the first time, the second time, he now used it as a resistance, right? And then he now did what? He now broke that area left behind what? Left behind fair value gap, or you can call it imbalance. So after this now, price has started to do what? Price started to change character to the upside. So now what is the most recent break of structure that we have had? It is this guy. And you can look below, there is no what? There is no fair value gap on the weekly time frame. So this is the most recent one now. This is the most recent one. So this is where we now look for what? For price to give us a change, for price to retrace into before going up, right? If price wants to push lower, then we can expect price to come into these areas before we buy. Is that okay? If price wants to push lower, I can expect price to come lower. It might use here, see what price will do. Price may use all of these lows here as what? As equal low liquidity before it drops into this place before buying. But then again, if there is a possibility, this daily time frame. So if there's a possibility that price can come into this place before buying, then definitely we will take a small position from there. But at least we know that on the daily there is still a lot of interest here that price may likely want to see. Now is may use here as liquidity. This equal low here. My trade this equal low as liquidity. When it strips that equal low, it will now drop into this area and then give us a fresh new accumulation, and then we can buy. So we have two areas of interest, either from here or from here. Is that okay? So we have POI 1 and then another POI down here. All right, this is the daily time frame. So price may still give you some reactions here. So if you can catch, a little bit of a trade here, it's not a bad place for price to trade from. And then if price runs all the way down, then you know that price is going to be coming for this brother down here. Is that okay? So that's that for that. So we are still very much bullish on USD card. We are still very, much bullish on USD CAD. Okay, so that's that. That's that. Let's check USD JPY. Okay, so USD JPY now we have dropped into this our discounted area. Remember, I said that price will most likely, if it doesn't come for this, the one that was here, you see there was a key level here. I said that if price doesn't trade from here, it's going to look, it's going to look to trade from down here. Is that okay? And now you can see that price has dropped. I don't know where this momentum is coming from. Let me check the weekly time frame. Let me check. Let me just check some things. Okay. Okay. So on the monthly, having swept this low, we should be targeting the monthly high, is it not? So all of this now seems like the price just trying to retrace, because you see on the weekly, we confirmed what? We confirmed an expansion here to the upside. Good. So now the daily has a very nice sweep of liquidity here. This was a sweep here. Let me just try it out for clarity. There was a sweep here, and there was a what? And there was a break here. So what do we expect this thing to now do from the daily? Now, is there a fair value gap? Yes, there is a fair value gap there, as you can see as I drew. So what should price do now? On the 4 hours now, price should start to do what? Price should start to give us behaviors that it wants to buy. Else, we will just wait for it to, right? We'll just wait for it. So price has to give us behaviors that it wants to buy, because the kind of momentum it's using to fall into this zone is about should I say it's unexpected. But then again, we remain unfazed. Let price just do what? Let price give us because if you look down here now, there's also a possibility that price there's fair value gap on the 4 hours time frame. There's fair value gap on the 4 hours time frame. So there's still a chance that price may even want to drop deeper into this place before we commence the buy. Is that okay? So that's that for USD JPY. I'm expecting a buy. I'm bullish on USD CAD. I'm also bullish on USD JPY. So let's see how this goes. And of course, let's see what the week has for us, being that it is a NFP week. We just have to be on the lookout. If we don't have a clear trading opportunity, we just sit out in the market until we have something, so that we don't get caught up, in very long trades that can affect us. All right. So lastly, I'm going to look at Euro CHF for today. I'm going to look at Euro CHF for today. Let's delete everything. So Euro CHF as at this morning was sweeping this low. I was looking like it wants to buy, but currently, you see why I say this following the steps is very, very important. As at the time, this candle here, as at this time, this week here was showing something like this, right? It was showing something like this. So this was like price trying to expand on the 4 hours. But you see, price has used between this morning, between like about 30 minutes ago or so, and now, and the 4 hours are not yet finished forming. So it has now come back down to do what? To trade as a week. So what does this mean? It means there is no expansion. Look at it now. There is no expansion. So you cannot trade that buy. But as at the time, this candle you are seeing here that is now showing like a week. This candle was very strong, going to the upside, showing that it wants to buy. But now coming back to the market, you are seeing that candle is no more, showing us that bullish intent. So we can no more buy. We can no more buy this guy. So what I'm still expecting is, see, right now it's like we are still trying to come down to this low, right? And then even after sweeping this low, price is still not giving enough energy to trade back up. That is why this 4 hours candle is very, very weak. So what we're going to wait for is let's see what price does, because remember that this demand is still very powerful down here. At the end of the day, price should trade down till this demand zone. Is that okay? Price should trade down to this demand zone in the future. So you should try to look for possible sell opportunities. Now, after this liquidity sweep here, after this daily high sweep here, was there expansion? Yes, there was an expansion here. So it won't be wrong to favor the sales. Is that okay? You want to favor the sales. Now, today has swept this new low. So we need to wait for what? We need to wait for a fresh a fresh expansion on the 4 hour so that we can either trade to the downside, or that 4 hours should give us momentum to the upside, and then we can do what? And then we can buy. So currently, there is no information that yes, Euro CHF is giving us, so we cannot pounce on that market just yet. Is that okay? So just let's remain very patient, and then we will know what to do in the coming. Like I always say, as it's not every day that we have to trade. It's not every day that we have to trade. That's where we get it wrong. We always want to, place buy or sell in the market every day. It's not every day you have to trade. That's the truth. Okay, so gold, we're looking at this gold coming to this point now. The big banks like the Deutsche Bank and I've forgotten the other big this thing from the fundamental part of things have predicted that gold has tendencies to go up to 4,000. Is that okay? The Deutsche Bank and I've forgotten the other this thing, but they are very two uh, big financial institutions. They have predicted that gold should rise up to $4,000. So that is the reason why, people are still jumping in on the gold trend. Is that okay? This was where I wanted to jump in from, but price did not come to touch it, and there was a fair value gap yesterday that price reacted from for gold. So the next point may be this one, maybe this breakout block here. Is that okay? This may be the next place that gold is going to buy from. Is that okay? Gold may locally buy from here. You can be catching some nice 2-3 hour before it gets to that point. So that is that. We have 19 minutes for this 1 hour candle to close. At this point, gold is no more even following technicals. Gold just they go up. Gold is just going up. It's not even following technicals again. It's just flying up. But definitely, we still respected this fair value gap. So there's a tendency that it will come for this price had a little bit of a um of a tug of war here. Is that okay? So you see that there was a little bit of tug of war here with this high. So price now has finally taken this high and has left behind what? Has left behind a nice key fair value gap in that market. So it won't be bad to join the gold trend from here. Is that okay? Let's see how it to go. Let's see how it to go from there. Gold should retrace to that guy before continuing the uptrend. Is that okay? So we just hope that gold will not want to do another major retracement, because this kind of retracement, and people that try to buy from all these areas and then they got stopped out by this retracement. Is that okay? So let's see what gold does. This is somewhere interesting for gold to buy from. We can also argue that there is a fair value gap down here, but price has been snubbing all these kind of these things. Just now that it came back for this fair value gap. So let's see what gold has to do from here, pending the closure of this candle, right? Pending the closure of this current candle, right? See, this candle still has about 1 hour to form. So after 1 hour, we can do what? We can know that yes, we are ready for this trade. Is that okay? So that's my lookout for gold. All right, so that's that for currencies. That's that for currencies. We are just basically waiting. We are waiting for things to occur. Currently, there isn't any much buy or sell instant and all of that in the market. So I wanted to update us on 40, the FX40 trade. Okay. So the key level here worked out again perfectly. The key level, the thing with key level is that when it touches, it just runs down. And remember, I said that price is most likely going to run till this low. Sorry, price is going to run to this low before anything else. So that as at this early this morning, FX Vol 40 ran straight to the draw on liquidity. Remember, we're talking about it since before it touched this area. And then, like I said, when price touches a point of interest, let me delete so I can show you again, because it will help you moving forward, even when we are not having live sessions. Now, when price touches your key level like this on the higher time frame, say daily or 4 hours, you wait for price to give you a what? Try call it like a confirmation that it wants to go in that region, or like an intention. And then our intentions are what? Either price gives us what? A change of character on the line chart like this, or it gives us a fully bearish engulfing candle. And then we know that yes, price is ready to go in our direction. So what do we have here this time around? So that we had a fully bearish engulfing candle formation. Is it not? So when we have the kind of situation, what do you do? On the one eye, you should be able to spot a sweep and break and liquidity. And that is where this trade came from. Yes, it touched the high a little bit. That's why we always say, always put your stop loss a little bit, at least be above the high that you want to trade from, just in case of those this thing, those small purge out of the distance. So this was how the trade ran, or something like this. And then you can see where did we say we're going to target next? We have to come and target this low, right? Because this low was the beginning of what? Of all the retracement, right? So after all this retracement, price has to do what? Price has to come back to target this low. Is that okay? And then that was why, this was a valid. Now, I don't even blame people that cannot hold trade. If you can see, we can hold till 3 hours. This is a very nice trade. It's a very nice trade. You can hold till 3 hours. All right. So now that price has finished this information, what we are going to do now is to wait for what? A new information to form. Because you see, after the way this thing works, right? After a major move like this one now has happened, price is most likely going to go into like a new retracement phase, trying to start a new story. So what you do is you just be on the lookout for the new story that is trying to form. So currently, FX Vol 40 has fulfilled this promise. So we just have to wait for the next information. So I wanted to just give us a quick update on 40 before any further ado. And then there's something on, I think, okay, yeah, flips FX Vol 60. We have this very major guy here. This very major guy here. That's where we are waiting for 60 to come in. When 60 comes in, we're going to start that behavior, that story again. You know how we see a key level, we wait for price to drop into the key level. When that key level is touched or is triggered, we wait for what? The story to start unfolding. Is that okay? So when price finds his way to this key level, where are we going to target next? It has to be here now. Is it not? It has to be here. If this thing gives us the confirmation that we want, we have to trade it all the way to this point. Why? Because this is the DOL. This is the point where the retracement started. So when price drops into where a key level or wherever I want to start trading up from, it's going to start what? It's going to go back to target that high. So if something happens again and price starts a new retracement, and let's say there's a demand zone here, just imagine there's a demand zone here. When price starts the new behavior, it's going to come for what? It's going to come for this. So that is simply how price moves. And then if I want to draw, you'll see that this is the law of what? This is the law of basic market structure. This is the law of basic market structure. Can you see? So that's that. So at the end of the day, what are we doing? We are having what? A high, a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high. So in case you're always wondering, where can I take profit, or where can I expect price to run to? Now we know how to determine that. So this will be the final place. So whenever FX Vol 60 drops into this zone and then starts buying, we have a final target for it. All right. So Flip X1, we had a nice trade with the funded groups. If you're in any of the funded groups, definitely we had a nice trade. We sold from somewhere here to this area. That's how the trade went from Flip X1 yesterday. So price is trying to show me something. Is it a trap? Is it a trap? When I see falling market like this and I start to see, candle theory for representing itself, they always do me somehow. Let's see. Uh-huh. Let's see. Okay. So price has swept previous day's low, and then it's trying to go for the pivot. Let's see 4 hours. 4 hours expanding. 4 hours is expanding. Oh God, is this a trap? Because 4 hours is expanding. So let's see. 4 hours has about few hours before a closure. So let's see what I 4 hour has this thing. There's no fair value gap there, but there's fair value gap down here. All right. So the thing is, when market is really falling like this, I don't like to, because it can be some sort of build up so that they can do what they can trap these people that are trying to buy. Since just the way the market has been really, really falling. So what I won't like the market to do in such situations is that start the move. Let it start the move, then I will join the re-entry. What do I mean by that? I mean, after, let's say this 4 hours close like this, let it start the move and then give me a new one. Then I'll know that, oh, okay, yes, we are ready to trade, then I can do what? I can join in. Because so oftentimes I have been caught when, let me say, market has been falling like this, right? And then I now gonna see candle sweep here. Yeah, and then trying to target same say somewhere up here. And then price will do everything I want it to do, but it will just go up and then continue that sell and then still continue selling. I don't know if you understand. So these are the small things that we need to be very careful of and not get carried away. But let's see how this market goes. If it drops and then starts and then gives another powerful expansion to the upside, then I can now be happy to trade from there. But for now, I'm not going to engage because you know they say affliction. How do you say no? They say once bitten, twice shy. So that's that. Okay, so flip X2. There's nothing for flip X2 yet for us apart from here. We're still waiting for here to get triggered. I think price is just all along trying to build liquidity of that area for us. Okay, flip X3. I was going to show you something on flip X3. Now, you see this market now has been very, 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 very bearish. So, is it possible? Now, what was the last expansion in this bearish? Let's go to the line chart. Is it not here? Last expansion was here, most definitely. So, price came back into this expansion. And then what did it do? It gave us a fully bearish engulfing candle formation there. Is it not? So, let's go to the 4 hours. So can we see how the 4 hours has given us has given us a sweep of liquidity and a what and a change of character. And all of this is what is fair value gap. Is that okay? So can we trade flip 3? Yes, we can trade flip 3 from here. We can trade flip 3 from here. Is that okay? So synthetics traders, this is a view that I have, and then we're going to target. We're going to target here. So feel free to tap in on this trade with me. So this is flip 3. Now, price may even want to use this fair value gap and sell, right? So, but it is synthetics. It likes to push up, to extremes before. So this is something that I'm very much interested in. Very, very much interested in this area. So this is a nice position to sell from. So if you trade synthetics, feel free to take in. Just go to the 4 hours and take from that 4 hours order block that is currently there. Is that okay? This is very nice on flip X3. All right. How about 4? Okay, 4 is still continuing in this order flow that we have that we drew. Or after we had this I call this area here on this live session. I don't know how many people exploited it. Yes, we had a very long and daunting consolidation, but at the end of the day, direction was right. Then I said that after this and this, price will come back here to buy. It did that, and then this was another place that price has respected. But currently, after this one now, I will need price to, give me another break of structure before I can call something, because it's creating. If I draw something like this, I don't know, like this, you see that it's creating a trend line. Is that okay? Price is currently creating a trend line. So sometimes trend line can be liquidity. Of course, we know that very well. All right. So lastly, flip X5. Anything for flip X5? Okay. Flip X5, I was waiting for this guy. Yeah, but I've seen something. I've seen something on the 4 hours time frame that I'm interested in, and it is this area of interest here. And then all of this now is looking like what? It's looking like build up of liquidity. So just come touch this let me draw like another block. Touch this other block here, and then we can buy, right? So this is what I'm looking at for flip five. So this is a sweep, this is a break, this is what, and this is build up here of liquidity. So let's see what flip five does when it drops into this place. We should be able to catch on re-entries. Is that okay? All right. So that's that for today. And I'm going to, okay, somebody's saying, how do I join the funded? Okay, just fund your account. Solomon Tamarami Karaki. Wow, I love your name. So just fund your account, and then reach out to me that you have funded your account, and then I will add you to funded group. Okay, so that's that for today. We will be starting intermediate training for people that probably have already gone through beginner's training but wants to do intermediate. We'll start with intermediate training from next week. All right. So of course, the criteria for joining in is to deposit money into your account, and then when you do that, you let me know because I can't know the deposited money. But when you do that, it's like I said, the money is still your money, but that gives you access to the intermediate training. Is that okay? So when you do this, just reach out to me and I will position you. So from next week, I'm gonna start intermediate training for us. Okay. So that's that for today. I greet everybody specially, and have a lovely trading day and a happy new month. Goodbye. Thank you.